in order to satisfy whatever the genre is, people do these same things, but they never go beyond. And it's amazing when you read these books, and whether it's a romance book, a spy thriller, a detective book, a western, a horror genre, or whatnot. Why do these people do these same things? And it's the question that gets back to originality. Is most of these people don't have that impulse. They don't have that demiurge to push. You have to push. When I'm writing something, yesterday, for example, I was working on this spy book of mine, and out of the blue, I was writing. Let me think. I was doing a chapter, and I was writing about. I was writing about. It was a chapter where my spy character in the late 1990s, after a 20-year legal battle, the government finally bought some of the lands from the Howard Hughes estate. And in my earlier book, A Norwegian in the Family, Howard Hughes plays a character who may or may not be part of the syndicate called the Foundation. And he's wandering around this very James Bondian like home base that Hughes has built into the side of a butte in Arizona or Nevada. And he's wandering around and he's talking about, and then he's talking about how the government found these tapes of where Hughes was interviewing people to play his stand-in, his double. And I went off on a whole riff about this guy, this fictional character who spent the last 15 or so, 20 years of his life playing Howard Hughes for public appearances. And it's one of those things that just came out of the writing. I had said, I think the last time we talked, how sometimes you just write and the things will flow out of it. There's how someone you can get something original that comes out of nowhere. I had no idea that I was going to have this in the book. Yet, speaking of Keats and negative capability, it fits in perfectly with the book because the book is a series of it's 27 chapters and it's incidents in this spy's life, and each of them is sort of like a banner hung down, and the banner starts to fray at the end. And this is a guy who is just remembering all these things, and the reader is going to have to put them together because they're not in a chronological order, but they make sense because they intuitively leap from segment to segment. A book like this Concho, which I'm holding up that you can't see though, this fellow Holmes, nice guy, I'm sure, but he doesn't have that. And so originality can be overrated, but real originality, like the ability to go from writing about one thing and then all of a sudden, literally in a split second, say, oh, here's where I can go. He's gonna stumble upon some canisters of screen tests that Hughes had done for people to play him, and then a whole story unfolds within the context of a much larger story.